Alright, so I wanted to congratulate the Tennessee Titans on a successful failure of a season. They have now secured and acquired the #1 overall draft pick in the upcoming NFL draft. Now, what they're going to do with it, as far as I am concerned, I don't fucking know what they're going to do with it. I honestly have no fucking idea what this team is thinking. I don't know if they're maybe going to go quarterback, maybe Travis Hunter, maybe something. I really don't know. It's up in the air right now. If you know what I'm thinking they're going to do is going to happen, it's going to be one of the worst mistakes in the history of the NFL draft. But I'll get into that a bit later. But the fact that Brian Callahan is almost certainly, confirmed to be the head coach next year is mind-boggling. You're telling me that Jerod Mayo takes the worst talented team, the team with the least talent in the league in the Patriots, and at least gets them to 4 fucking wins, wins the last game of the fucking season, and gets fired. But Brian Callahan, who has led one of the worst offenses in the NFL, they're getting 16 points a game. They're fucking atrocious, and he gets to keep his job. I don't understand it. That's how I sort of want to start now off this video. Bit of a miniature rant, Kyler Murray rant. And I just don't think that's fucking fair at all. Jerod Mayo should have gotten at least another season. They should have given him another chance. It's just, to me, it's fucking bullshit. And that's how I want to start this video. But once again, I want to congratulate the Titans for securing the first pick. And I want to congratulate quarterback Will Levis. Don't want to talk about him too much in this video. This will probably be a bit of a shorter video. Anyways, but who gives a fuck? I'm making the video because the Titans got the first pick, so I want to congratulate Levis. He was probably the instrumental key part in why the Titans are even in this sort of situation to begin with, because without him, they would probably have won 6-7 games and maybe had a chance at not sucking complete dick. But here they are live and in living color, being the most dog shit team in the NFL. Thanks to Will Levis. The guy's just an interception machine. He can't read defense. He has no pocket mobility. He's not fast. He's not athletic. He telegraphs throws. He fumbles. He's a statue in the pocket. He just seems lost in the pocket. Has no awareness, isn't durable, injury prone. The guy is just complete dog shit, and expect him to be out of the league in 2 to 3 years because he will not last on an NFL roster. Playing the way he did this season, he was probably the main problem with the team. I also like to shout out the offensive line for just not blocking on half the plays, getting Levis killed. But at the same time, Levis is to blame too. He knows this. When you're halfway into the season and you're getting killed, you're getting sacked 6 times a game, and you don't make the adjustment of throwing the ball quickly, then it's on you. Your processing speed is probably fucking horseshit. So, yeah, Levis was the biggest part of the problem. Brian Callahan, big shout out to you. Don't know how your dumbass gets to keep a job after leading your team to 3 fucking wins the whole season. Just absolutely pathetic. I read somewhere they were 2-15 or something against the spread, something ridiculous. Just unbelievable. Callahan is a coach who should have been fired mid-season, but somehow is keeping his job. I don't know how, because apparently he's some sort of offensive genius with his scheme, which is basically just shotgun only, and it's just stupid, and it's not going to work. And he found out the hard way that it's not going to work with a bad quarterback like Will Levis, and with a mediocre at best quarterback in Mason Rudolph. And I want to actually shout out the defense, because the first couple of games, the Titans defense looked like the best fucking defense in the NFL, and they fell off a cliff. I think mentally they sort of logged out. They said, fuck it, I'm out, I'm quitting, because this team's offense isn't going to score 17 points anyway, so why should I be asked to keep this team in the game? And they just mentally logged out, and I think they had a couple injuries maybe, and they just looked like shit down the stretch. The last 7-8 games looked like fucking horse shit, and gave their team really no realistic chance whatsoever of winning any game. And plus, with the offense not even scoring 17 a game, there's no point in playing defense anyway, because if you hold the other team to 18, you're just going to lose. There's no point. If you don't hold them to under 10, you're never going to win. So if you have to play that hard to win a game, then there's no point in playing, because you're going to be in these close dogfights every fucking game. It's going to get exhausting. You're going to get tired. There's going to be injuries that pile up, because you're on the field for well over half the game, and there's really nothing as a defensive player you can do about it. And let me go over the possible scenarios. In my mind, there's 3 possible scenarios for the Titans that the Titans could take with the #1 overall pick. Number 1 is you trade the #1 overall pick to a quarterback needy team like the Raiders, the Browns, or a team like the Jets, or something like that, who need a franchise quarterback. You trade it to them for a haul and get a bunch of draft picks and pick an immediate impact player at 5, 6, 7, or 8. somewhere around that range. Only trade down maybe 5-6 spots, like 7 or 8 at most. I would only take offers from the top 10 teams. I wouldn't be bothered to take any sort of calls from teams outside the top 10 unless they're offering like their entire draft and a couple future first rounders and maybe an impact player. But no, just only entertain offers from the top 10 teams that are selecting in this year's NFL draft. And if you like an offer, if you fall in love with a certain offer from a certain team, then you take it and you pick a high upside, high impact young player who can succeed in the NFL, who has a chance at being a star player in the NFL. The number 2 situation I think they could sort of go with is drafting Cameron Ward with the first overall selection in the draft. I think he's a high upside, toolsy quarterback who has a chance to be a great quarterback in the NFL. I just think he has a lot of glaring flaws, such as sometimes he gets, miracle play syndrome where he just runs around and tosses the fucking ball up, which you can't do that in the NFL. It's going to be an interception. And, with how freakishly athletic most of, if not all, NFL defensive backs are, those are going to turn into interceptions very quickly. Let's keep it $150. But he also has a lot of upside. He has a rocket arm. He has great mobility. He shows decent enough processing. He shows good anticipation and timing on throws over the middle. I think he has a chance to do very well. But behind the bad offensive line, I think he's going to be probably the most sacked quarterback in his first year in the NFL. I think it's going to look a lot like Caleb Williams' first season. But I think there's going to be more flashes than Caleb Williams, because Caleb Williams really didn't show many flashes. I know they won today, but it wasn't convincingly. He maybe threw one pass past 15 yards, so I'm not fucking impressed, quite frankly, and that is what it is. And the number 3 scenario is the worst possible one. They draft Shedeur Sanders at 1, and this is the one I think is going to happen because God knows what NFL GMs, and God knows, only God knows, what NFL GMs and scouts are thinking on draft night. Maybe they have one plan, but they fall in love last second with Shedeur Sanders and they pick him. And I don't think he would last a season starting for Tennessee. He would get ran off and get traded for like a 3rd round pick or like a 6th round pick, and they'd be done with him in the season. And it would be embarrassing. It would be one of the biggest organizational failures in the history, and it would be one of the biggest draft busts in the history of the NFL. And the Titans, that would be their biggest bust ever, immediately. And if they go that direction, go ahead. Like, you might as well just fucking fire Callahan and hire Deion Sanders at that point. Fuck it, embrace the Sanders, embrace the goddamn Sanders family. Just go ahead, get Shiloh Sanders, get everybody, go, trade up for fucking Travis Hunter. Just go recreate Colorado in Nashville. It's probably not going to work, but it'll sell tickets and it'll get a shitload of money. So, hey, at least you did something positively along the way, but that's the last desperation effort. If the Titans announce that they might be going bankrupt, they're bleeding money, then this would be like the desperation thing I would do. If this is a franchise on the brink of bankruptcy, maybe I would do that because it would bring a lot of ticket sales and it would fucking revive my franchise for a year, and then people would realize, oh shit, this sucks. I can't be bothered to watch this shit anymore. I'm done. Fuck it, I'm tuning out. So yeah, the Titans, just historically bad season. Just hard to believe. Will Levis had any sort of expectation, Brian Callahan had any sort of expectation to make this team a competitive team, when in reality, it really never was meant to be. Thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth.